The story of Saint Odo of Cluny.
Subscribe to our channel to receive more content like this.
Imagine a small, quiet village tucked away in the rolling hills of France, long ago in the 9th century. It's a time of great change and uncertainty, an age where kings and emperors ruled, and monasteries were the heart of learning, prayer, and community. Amidst this world, one man's journey would change the course of history, not through wealth or power, but through humility, devotion, and a tireless love for God. This man was Saint Odo of Cluny. Odo was born in the year 878 in a noble family in the land we now call France. His family had high expectations for him. They were wealthy and influential, and many believed he would rise up in the world of kings and rulers. But Odo had different plans. Early in life, he felt a calling. Something deep inside him tugged him toward a life of prayer, simplicity, and devotion. Now, let's pause for a moment. It's easy to imagine someone from a noble family wanting to live in luxury, enjoy the comforts of wealth, or build their name through power. But Odo's heart wasn't in that world. Instead, he wanted to dedicate his life to God. So, against the expectations of his family, Odo entered the monastery. This was no small thing. In those days, monasteries weren't just places of prayer. They were the centers of education, preservation of knowledge, and spiritual guidance. Life in the monastery was difficult and demanding. There were long hours of prayer, hard work, and often very little reward in terms of worldly success. But Odo was committed. He knew the journey would be tough, but his faith was stronger. Years passed, and Odo's reputation grew. He was known for his deep spirituality, his wisdom, and his ability to inspire others. Eventually, he became the abbot of Cluny, a prestigious and influential monastery in southern France. But this wasn't a position of luxury. It was a responsibility. Cluny was one of the largest and most important monasteries in Europe at the time, and Odo's leadership would shape its future. At the time, the church was facing many challenges. Some monasteries had lost their way, becoming more focused on power, wealth, and politics than on prayer and devotion. But Odo was different. He believed deeply in the principles of monastic life: humility, simplicity, and obedience. He was determined to restore Cluny to its true purpose, to be a place of pure worship and service to God. Under Odo's leadership, Cluny flourished. He introduced reforms to ensure the monks lived in true humility. They focused not just on their personal spiritual growth, but also on helping the surrounding communities. Odo was a man of action. He didn't just talk about change, he lived it. He set an example for the other monks through his own actions, showing them what it meant to truly live a life of devotion. But leadership was never easy. The more Odo worked to purify and strengthen the monastery, the more he faced opposition. Some monks didn't like the changes. They resisted his reforms, preferring the old ways of living that focused more on personal comfort than on discipline. It wasn't easy, but Odo remained patient. He understood that true transformation took time. He didn't give up. Odo's influence extended far beyond the walls of Cluny. Monks and abbots from other monasteries came to him for advice. People looked to him for guidance, not because he was a rich or powerful man, but because he had lived a life of true faith. He was humble, wise, and deeply devoted to God. People trusted him because he was genuine. But Odo's life wasn't without its struggles. At one point, he fell seriously ill. His body, weakened by years of hard work, was no longer able to keep up. For a while, it seemed like he might not survive. But even in the face of sickness, Odo remained steadfast in his faith. He never complained. He accepted his suffering as a part of his journey. It was during this time that Odo's true character shone through. Instead of focusing on his own pain or worrying about his health, he focused on the well-being of others. Even in his weakened state, he continued to guide his fellow monks, offering wisdom and comfort to those around him. In the end, Odo recovered from his illness, but his health was never the same. However, his legacy lived on. He continued to lead Cluny with dedication and love for the rest of his life. Under his guidance, Cluny became a beacon of spiritual renewal, and its influence spread throughout Europe. Saint Odo of Cluny passed away in 942. He was remembered as a humble man who devoted his life to God and to others. His story isn't one of grandiose miracles or massive public achievements. It's the story of a man who found his purpose in humility, prayer, and service, and through that, changed the lives of countless others. So, what can we learn from St. Odo's life? His story reminds us that true greatness isn't found in wealth, power, or fame. It's found in living a life of purpose, in serving others with humility, and in staying true to what matters most, no matter what challenges we face. St. Odo's life teaches us that sometimes the most powerful change happens not through big actions, but through small, steady acts of love and devotion. And so, St. Odo's story lives on, not just in the history books, but in the hearts of those who continue to follow his example of selfless devotion. It's a reminder that we all have the ability to make a difference, no matter who we are or where we come from, by living a life rooted in faith and love.